in the video, Sean did an excellent job, I think, gotta thank him. But of course, we couldn't get everything in it. One thing I might mention to you is my last parachute jump. I made 7 of them, and 6 of them were in training, and we jumped from 1,000 feet. And this jump was outside of Paris. While we were on the way home, they decided we needed a training jump. And it was optional. And some of the more intelligent people declined. So, unfortunately, I wasn't one of them. But one of the band of brothers was in on that jump and wrote a book about how it went. We went up to 2,000 feet instead of 1,000 feet in case there was a mishap. We were in the plane, and the fellow ahead of me got to the door and changed his mind about it. He went past the door, and the jump master pushed him back in the door, and he just stood there. I pushed him out, and this wasn't good. So we went out together, and the chutes opened okay. I was floating down okay, listening to a trumpet player blowing Lily Marlene, and I wasn't paying much attention. And it had been a year since the jump, and forgotten a lot of the things we were supposed to be doing. So pretty soon my feet touched something. I was standing in the middle of his canopy. And they said not to worry in jump school. If you ever like that, you just walk to the edge and jump off. It's just like a sidewalk, he said. Well, the nylon isn't like a sidewalk. And I sank down in it. I couldn't see out. And so we were going down, and he said he looked around, and it had collapsed both of our chutes. We were passing everyone in the sky, descending. And so anyway, eventually, because we had an extra 1,000 feet, we got out of it. And I know that I wouldn't be talking to you today if we hadn't had 2,000 feet. And so I wanted to tell you about that. Anyway, when he got on the ground, he just stood there and stuttered. He couldn't talk. And we never talked about it later on. But I went to an air show several years ago, and my son took me there, and there were 2 paratroopers there. And I told them about this. They said they're still telling them the same thing, the same thing as Fort Benning about just like a sidewalk. That's what he said. So that's about it.
Anybody have a question that you want to ask? Take a couple of questions before we get some cookies to go home. You want to answer any questions? Anybody have a question? Logan?
Yeah, I have 2. One for Charles and one for you, David. First,
I'll repeat it.
For you, Charles, just wanted to know, when you went to that concentration camp, that was at sub camp in Dachau.
Landsberg.
Yeah, Landsberg. You talked about how God helped you to love your enemies and to forgive them, and I know that you're supposed to do that, but how difficult was it, in all honesty?
Probably challenging. The forgiveness when you see so much evil. Obviously, I would say maybe a journey, a little bit of a life journey.
Well, it is difficult, and we know that. When I was, we liberated all these people in the camp, and they were walking the streets, just in their striped pajama-like garb. One of them came up to me and said, "See here, I used to have teeth." Germans took the rifle butts and knocked them out to get the gold out of them. So that's the type of things we're going with. It's hard to forgive.
Yeah. So you have how many grandkids? You have
4.
4 grandkids. Yeah. And when do we celebrate your 100th birthday?
Well, it's going to be a year after September. I'm going to be 99, September the 27th. And there is a fellow in assisted living where I live in Westchester Village who his birthday is the same date, and he's going to be 100 when I'm 99.
Wow.
There is another man out there who's going to be 100 in July. So, but not many men achieve that age.
No, not many.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look. You can. We'll do mine after. Let's give any other questions for Charles. I want to do picture with the veterans. Would you let them take a picture? We'll have the veterans come up next to you, and we'll take a picture.
All right.
And then let's give Charles